This goofy, doofy image has been burned into the internet's collective consciousness. Even 4 years after its launch, it's still what most people think of when they hear the word Metaverse. The Metaverse, as envisioned by Mark Zuckerberg, was one of those vague Silicon Valley ideas that nobody truly understood. And at the center of it all was Horizon Worlds Meta's flagship virtual universe that was supposed to usher in a brand new era of social connection. On paper, Facebook had everything it needed to succeed: massive social network effects, billions of dollars in capital, and the classic Silicon Valley belief, if you build it, they will come. But that's not how things turned out. The average person simply wasn't ready to meet their friends inside a virtual reality headset, and that raises the big question: what actually happened to Zuckerberg's Metaverse? Today, Horizon Worlds sits largely abandoned, a half-baked, glitchy mess struggling to grow as originally promised. Meta's Metaverse division, Reality Labs, has lost over $70 billion since 2020, and it continues to burn billions more every single quarter. Some estimates suggest that daily users inside Horizon Worlds may be as low as 900 people. This is a story about what happens when a CEO ignores criticism, trusts his own vision above all else, and pushes forward anyway. This is the strange failure of the Metaverse. How did it happen, and where did it all go? A few years ago, the Metaverse was supposed to be the next evolution of the internet. According to Zuckerberg, it would be, quote, an immersive, embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. In simple terms, the Metaverse was meant to be a shared digital world where people interact using virtual reality. 2021, Facebook was already drowning in controversy. It started with the Cambridge Analytica scandal back in 2018. Then, in 2021, leaked internal documents revealed that Facebook knew its platforms were harming users, social cohesion, and even children, yet did very little to stop it. Those files were released in September 2021, and just 1 month later, in October, Mark Zuckerberg unveiled his grand vision for the Metaverse, complete with a full company rebrand. Facebook was now Meta. The optics were not great. To many, it looked like a desperate attempt to escape Facebook's damaged reputation by slapping on a new name. And it didn't help that this announcement came in the form of an hour-long virtual presentation. Investors were confused. The stock began to drop and kept dropping for months. And then there was that image. The low-poly, goofy-looking avatar of Mark Zuckerberg quickly became a meme. It stuck in people's minds as awkward, strange, and unintentionally hilarious. That image would come to define the Metaverse in the public imagination. Behind the scenes, Meta planned to roll out several major Metaverse products. First, Horizon Worlds, a social VR platform powered by Meta's Horizon OS. Second, the Meta Horizon mobile app, designed to manage profiles and social connections. Third, the Meta Horizon Store, where users could buy apps and games. And fourth, Horizon Home, a customizable virtual space for socializing. But for the average consumer, the friction was enormous. You had to buy a VR headset that cost hundreds of dollars, learn how to use it, log in, and then hope the experience was good enough to keep you coming back. And that's the key problem. Network effects only work if people are already there. If the world feels empty, nobody wants to stay. On top of that, trust in Facebook, now Meta, was at an all-time low. There was also a deeper cultural issue. Most people simply didn't see the appeal of disconnecting from the real world to socialize. Convincing everyday users to strap screens inches away from their eyes again and again was always going to be an uphill battle. And this isn't just a Meta problem. Even Apple struggled with mainstream adoption of VR, largely due to price. It's a clear signal that consumers just aren't ready yet. Still, Zuckerberg's Metaverse vision didn't come out of nowhere. Back in 2014, Facebook acquired Oculus, a leader in VR technology. In 2020, Meta formed Reality Labs to focus entirely on virtual and augmented reality. But development was far from smooth. John Carmack, one of the most respected minds in technology, was brought in to help. Yet by 2022, he left the company and openly criticized Meta's approach. Carmack remained bullish on VR as a technology, but said Meta's execution was slow, glitchy, and inefficient. Even internally, nobody could clearly define what the Metaverse actually was. Some employees thought they were building the next YouTube. Others thought it was supposed to be a casual version of World of Warcraft. According to one staff member, the confusion was constant. In early 2022, Zuckerberg told employees they should live in the future. They were encouraged to use the metaverse daily, but there was a problem. Even Meta's own employees didn't like it. Internal meetings held inside VR were plagued with bugs and friction. It sometimes took 30 minutes just to join a meeting, so frustrating that people would give up and switch back to regular video calls. And that highlights the core issue. People prefer things that are simple and convenient. Strapping on a headset versus clicking a Zoom link, most people will choose Zoom every time. By late 2022, things were looking grim. Meta's stock had fallen over 70%, and the company began massive layoffs for the first time in its history. Between November 2022 and May 2023, Meta cut 20,000 jobs, roughly a quarter of its workforce. Ironically, that moment marked the bottom. Advertising revenue surged, and the stock rebounded. But the metaverse didn't. By early 2023, estimates suggested Horizon Worlds had around 20,000 monthly users, with daily users possibly under 1,000. Today, it's likely even lower. Despite selling millions of Quest headsets, Reality Labs continues to lose billions every quarter. Years of development, billions of dollars, even 2 years spent adding legs to avatars, and still no clear path to profitability. So, how does Meta plan to make money from the metaverse? Advertising seems like the obvious answer, but traditional ads don't translate well into VR. The alternative idea was branded virtual worlds and digital goods, but adoption has been minimal. The long-term hope is an App Store-style ecosystem, where Meta controls the hardware and software and takes a cut from developers. But so far, the metaverse has looked less like the future of the internet and more like a very expensive experiment. Meanwhile, Mark Zuckerberg's attention has shifted. AI is the new priority. Meta is pouring billions into artificial intelligence, recruiting top talent, and integrating AI into products like Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses. Whether this pivot succeeds or becomes another massive miscalculation remains to be seen. What is clear is this: Zuckerberg's metaverse vision failed to connect with the world. And while virtual reality does have a future, as platforms like VRChat prove, Meta simply went about it the wrong way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, feel free to subscribe.